Research question. How is the journey of the ants affected by the weight of the object that they are carrying on a controlled environment?
Step 1. Look for a site where we can observe a colony of ants. This is where our investigation will take place.
Measuring the height, the width, and the length of the lungs. Yeah.
As we may observe, the leaves have a variety of colors and sizes, and their texture is wet. This is because it stopped raining about 2 to 3 hours ago. To prevent any ethical harm, no leaf was taken directly from the ants. First, we observed the ones that were being carried by them, and compared them to the ones that had been previously picked and left due to the rain. The ones carried by various ants to their colonies were seen as a sign of their preference. Samples of the leaves were picked up and put in plastic bags for later observation at Hatun Sacha.
The colonies, and then we're gonna take samples of it and measure the surface area. What do you mean, Joe?
We are trapping ants and measuring them.
Trapping ants with a leaf.
The leaf.
Let me see.
There you go.
This is a big ant, and that's a big ant, so now we have to catch small ants. Yeah.
What does the putter do?
What happens? Usually you have a
Suck
second
it.
straw, but that one fell in, as you guys can see. I had two.
I mean, the sides of the
So you blow in, and the ants will go in there. You'll suck it in. That gauze I have right there, that'll stop you from inhaling the ants. And yeah, you'll trap them in here. Right there.
Oh, there we go. Come on, ant. Come chill on my leaf.
Sure. There we go.
Jesus.
Put it right there.
After observing the ants and taking measurements, we departed from Site 1 and went to look for Site 2 nearby.
At Site 2, we observed that ants are digging a tunnel to go back to their colonies. There was not much eligible data, but still enough to make a research.
Is it lima leaf or balsa? Is it fine?
My research consisted in analyzing the relation between the leaf species that the ants consume and the length of the ants. And through this data, I concluded that there is no relation between the plants that they consume and the size of the ant.
The object of my investigation was to find if there was any correlation between the area and mass of leaves and their frequency. I found that the most frequent leaves were the green leaves, yet they did not necessarily have the greatest mass and had average area.
My investigation consisted at looking at the leaves carried by ants at Site 1 and Site 2. I was able to compare them and see which leaf they preferred the most. After looking at my data, I was able to conclude that due to physical characteristics and other characteristics such as odor, the ants prefer to carry out the leaves that were from lime trees and tangerine trees.
My investigation for this group 4 activity was to investigate if ants had a specific drawing towards one food or another. In particular, I investigated the two most common leaves found around their area, which were the plantain leaf and the citrus leaf. My graph is basically showing how the plantain leaf has been more consumed by the ants versus the citrus leaf, and my investigation's conclusion is that the ants consume the plantain leaf more.
What I researched is the effects from human activity and how it affects the average size of worker ants. Basically, what my graph showed is that the closer you are to human activity, smaller ants should be. However, as expected, the ants should be larger farther away from human activity, that actually was incorrect. Instead, the ants were largest when at a median between the farthest and closest. This could be because of predation and lack of it, which allowed them to grow at a natural rate and also stop them from being killed.
Some values of our investigation are that we used ants of different sizes so that we had a good random sample. We had 3 different colonies, so the ants were of varied sizes, and also we recollected leaves from different places. Therefore, the frequency and the color and type of the leaves wasn't biased to just one location.
One of the limitations we experienced with our pooter was that one, it was too fragile, which meant that the straws that were actually connecting it, that we were supposed to suck up the ants with, were not working properly. So, they broke. So we had to put them inside the pooter with leaves, except they would bite really, really hard, which did not really help very much because they would get stuck to you very easily.
In conclusion, the heavier the leaf, the longer it took the ants to reach their final destination. But we were also able to find out that the leaves that they preferred the most were the lime and tangerine trees due to their physical appearances and characteristics.
Thank you!